So this is what we will be trying to achieve today. We will be having a React.js frontend where you can put the amount, phone number, halafu on clicking pay now you get an SDK push on your phone. Now that's the project overview. So we get started. Create a folder on your computer, name it whatever you want, halafu open the folder in your favorite editor. So I will be using VS Code. Now kwa project yako create two folders. We'll be using the nodejs and express, so itakuwa within the servers folder, na client folder tutatumia React. You can open the terminal and cd into the respective directories. Now for nodejs tutafanya the conventional way of installing it. Make sure that you have node installed kwa machine yako, alafu unaza npm init-y, then ukihit enter kwa terminal yako it is supposed to generate a package.json file. And I think we have the package.json file. Sasa to install some packages, npm install, tutahitaji express, axios for API request, tutahitaji nodemon so that we don't have to restart the server every time, edcos so that we can link our React to nodejs. Then kwa React side we are going to do React installation with Vite. Vite inafanya React installation very fast, so unaweza search on Google so that you get the commands to do that. Utajionea mwenyewe, it literally takes a second. So you visit the website, grab the command, alafu ufungue on VS Code. Then that way it is going to make our installation very easy. You will see for yourself. As I paste right there, hit enter. It will just take a moment. You click yes, alafu itakuuliza your project name. You can give your project whatever name unataka. Mimi I want the correct directory, so take a dot, alafu I choose the framework. I will be using React, then JavaScript, and boom, within a second we have our React installed. For styling, allow me to use Tailwind. It is super convenient. Another to the documentation, you unaweza grab the commands right there, alafu you paste it on your terminal and it will be installed. Now let's open the servers folder na tuanze kuandika code. We create an index.js file, alafu tufanye the obvious thing, tuta import express, alafu we initialize our app. That's the obvious. Alafu once you have done that, we will be running our app on port 5000. Tuta console log to make sure that our app is working properly. Then ukimake a get request, you will be greeted with that message. We can npm start and see whether we have set up everything properly. So to make HTTP request, tutatumia data client. It is a VS Code extension, and convenient sana. You don't need to have two applications open when writing nodejs. Unaweza tumia Postman, lakini allow me to kutumia data client. So you're going to make a get request kwa hiyo port yenye tulifungua and see if our app is running properly. Naona npm start imekata. and I guess the error ni we don't have nodemon set up. So ingia kwa package.json and make sure that when starting our server, nodemon ina take over so that we don't have to restart our server every time. Write nodemon index.js, the file that you will be running. So I guess this time round itakubali. Let's npm start again tuone kama itakubali. So npm start, ukihit enter, I'm sure this time itakubali. Let's wait for it. In the meantime tunaweza jaribu kumeka get request, see whether we are going to get a successful message. So our app is starting. I guess this time it is going to work. Server runs nicely. Our app is set up na kila kitu is working perfectly. Now we are going to make 2 folders within our servers folder. Kuna controller where we are going to write all the SDK push logic, na tutakuwa na routes folder. Express is very powerful when akuwezesha kuwa na routing within your app. So let's make a get request tuone ama everything is working properly. That's an error. I guess the issue ni hapo kwa HTTPS, and we try again, itakubali. M-Pesa programming in progress. Now everything is working nicely. We can start writing SDK push logic. Kwa controller tuta create a file token.js as well as routes folder. So we import actions ili we can make a get request from the Safaricom SDK endpoint. Then the first thing tutafanya ni create a token which runs as a middleware before we get an SDK push. So, and that is going to be within the controllers folder, because hapa ndipo tutaandika the logic of generating a token and the logic for getting an SDK push. So once you initialize that function that way, a callback function, and we are going to have a next parameter, so that once the token is created, we can move on to getting an SDK push. Then you can export your file like this, module.export. Unachukua hiyo function and unaiweka hapo. Then in the routes folder kwa token.js, we will be importing your logic from the controller. So you initialize express hapo hivyo, an express router, then you import create token from controller/token. Then we are going to export that so that you can get it index.js file. So when we make a get request, we are supposed to get our token, but we will be writing that logic in a while. So you export that, alafu kwa index.js file, we are supposed to import that router as well, so that you can make good use of it. So you import that, and then utasema app.use then hiyo route yenye tumeimport. So once we have done that, I guess we are good to go. Tunaweza rudi back to the controllers folder and start writing the logic for getting an access token. So I guess so far so good. Let's get back to the important stuff. That's it. And we are going to require some parameters. These credentials will be obtaining them from Daraja's website. So tutahitaji the secret key, the consumer key. Now, let us get this from the website. We are going to make a get request to Safaricom endpoint to make sure that we have access token. So ukienda kwa website yao ni developers.safaricom.co.ke, kwa landing page you are getting this beautiful animation on the right side. Click nodejs, utaona what you are supposed to do there. Now for authorization request, we are supposed to make a get request to this endpoint. Actually nilicopy your URL hapo. Do that. Alafu we make a get request so that getting an access token itakuwa much easier. Now tukirudi kwa website, make sure it is a JavaScript promise. So async await, then you make a get request to your endpoint, and we're going to have an authorization right there. An authorization inahitaji an auth which is formulated kwa process fulani hapo, which itahitaji the secret key, the consumer key. You will see that just in a bit. Inahitaji base64 encoding, which will factor in the secret key na consumer key. It's very necessary for authorization. Then once you have done that, we are going to have a dot, then we console.log our access token. Alafu we catch any potential errors, and that's how you go about it. Hopefully it work. Guys, don't judge me. I'm still a student and I'm learning this stuff. So kama you are seeing issues or anything like that, feel free to correct me. Hopefully itafanya kazi. Now let's get the secret key kwanza and the consumer key. We log in to the developers portal. Log in if you already have an account. And if you are getting started, create an account. It is free. So I'm going to log in. Then once you are logged in, we're going to create an application and get the test credentials. So I'm going to create a new app, call it whatever you want. Alafu you check all these boxes. You really want to have all the privileges. Once you have done that, you click show credentials and you'll get the consumer key and the secret key. You copy that, alafu you paste it where you need it. And this is not the best practice. When you are doing this in production, you need to create a .env file to make sure that there are no security issues. So we copy the consumer secret, we paste it right there, and we are good to go. I think we should be getting a token sasa. we have exported it, tumeimport kwa the route folder, na yeah, hopefully everything works properly. Now unaanza ingia kwa postman ama data client and see if things are going to work as expected. And we're having an error in the terminal, by the way. Sijui ishi iko wapi. Let me check, see. Yeah, we are having an exportation error hapo hivyo kwa the routers file. Yeah, we had this in the controller folder. If you get rid of that, let's see how itakubali. Yeah, server run nicely. So far so good. So let's see if we get an access token. It is a get request, making a request to that third point. Alafu we are using express routing, utaweka /token and see, you click send and there we go, an access token. Yeah, it is that easy, guys. As I have told you, source code kwa description. Unaweza ingia GitHub pale and see things for yourself. Yeah, you can cross reference and see if you are making progress. If you have any errors, feel free kuuliza pale kwa comments na nitajibu on time. So now that we have an access token, we can proceed to writing the logic for an STK push. Kwa sababu the token, if action ya kugenerate a token, it runs as a middleware. You can't get an STK push without an access token. So we start writing the logic for an STK push. Yeah, sidhani nime skip anything important so far. So it is going to be a JavaScript promise. Kwa sababu itachukua a while before everything is processed na hizo vitu zote. And na kwa STK push we need some credentials from Safaricom. Utahitaji shortcode. Shortcode inaweza kuwa till, pay bill na hizo vitu zote. Utahitaji phone, the client's input yenye tutaweka kwa frontend. Tutahitaji amount, the money that a client will be willing to pay. Then tutahitaji passkey. Passkey, it used to be in the test credentials, Daraja portal, but nowadays it is not the actually passkey. I was forwarded by somebody. So unaweza copy from kwa code unaweza ipata through the link yenye nimeweka kwa description. So utakuja kwa the documentation tab. It is very precise. Kuja hapo kwa lipa na M-Pesa online API, you have all the instruction procedure hapo chini. Kuna URL endpoint that you are supposed to make a request to. Yeah, copy that. Alafu it is that way that you are going to get an STK push. You copy that, then you paste up hivyo kwa URL. You'll soon be making a request to that endpoint. Kwa shortcode hii nimeipata kwa test credentials, the Daraja portal, then the phone number, the input that we are going to get from the front end, alafu substring 1 so that we get rid of the 0 yenye nakuaga kwa phone number, then the amount, alafu passkey unaweza icopy kwa code. Then we are going to get the timestamp, the real time the transaction occurred. tumia javascript kidogo pale. Alafu next thing we need ni a request body yenye tutatuma kwa hii URL to trigger an SDK push. Alafu we also need password, which it is a tricky one. Nahitaji base 64 encoding, whatever that means. Hata mimi sijui, when I figure things out nitawaambia. Inahitaji shortcode, passkey and timestamp. Na tukiona hizo vitu zote, I guess request body would be ndio tunahitaji. You grab it from the documentation. Hapo chini kuna mahali wameka request body. It is a matter of copying and pasting it. Iko na hizo parameters zote, unaichukua then you paste it kwa code yako. Let it be const data, alafu your request body. Uta replace shortcode, all that stuff yenye tumeandika hapo juu you kuweka there. Then hizo vitu zote, make sure nothing is missing. Part A itakuwa the phone number yenye tutakuwa tunaweka kwa frontend. Part B itakuwa the shortcode. Then alafu kutakuwa na amount yenye tutaweka kwa frontend side. Now we have everything set up, so we proceed. Now we will be making a post request kwa hiyo URL endpoint which we grabbed from the documentation. Tutahitaji the URL, and while doing the authorization tunahitaji token which we generated tukipata access token. So hii token we need to grab it hapa hivi kwa .then, hapa hivi kwa create token. So sema token is equals, so that we can make it global and access it kwa hii function ya SDK push data.data.access token. Now we have the access token kwa SDK push, and we have the URL endpoint that we are supposed to make an API request to. Then once we have done that, we need to have a .then ili tupate success message once we get an SDK push. Then we are going to catch potential errors. Once tumefanya hivyo, I think this will give us an SDK push. So we need to export that from the controller folder. Initially tulikuwa export create token peke yake, so we need to pass that kwa export. Then we do the same exact thing kwa route folder. Then once we have done that, I guess we have done the most difficult part, and we'll be making we are making a get request to get the access token. And now that we'll be making a post request to get an SDK push, we'll definitely have to change that to .post. It's going to be a post method, so that we can pass the phone number and the amount. We have that processed so that we get an SDK push. We change that equal post, and hopefully when we make a post request, and kwa body, make sure that we pass those parameters, the phone number, the amount. We are supposed to get an SDK push. Let us experiment and see if things work. It is going to be JSON content. We're going to need the phone and the amount. Hopefully everything works perfectly, and once we finish with the backend, tie the frontend and link it to backend, we click send and see. Wait for it. Oops, yeah, an error. Something is wrong. Kwa error message inasema cannot read the properties. Oh, I see. See what the problem is. We have the access token, but ikifika ni get an SDK push, we are having an error right there. So I guess tunahitaji to make good use of an express feature which allow us to use JSON. So make good use of it right there, express.json. Then we try it once again, and hopefully this time itakubali. I'll be showing my phone recording tuone ama tutapata SDK push. I have my number right there, so you should be getting an SDK push pop-up. So click send, and we have an access token, na kwa simu yangu you can see we have an SDK pop-up. That is a success message, and now I guess we are done with the backend. And by the way, to be sure that everything is working properly, make sure the response body yenye wamepeana kwa documentation is exactly what you have in the terminal. Now one last thing that we need to do ni to make sure that we import course and make a good use of it kwa index.js file within the servers folder, so that we can link our React frontend to the backend. Now once you have done that, you can close the servers folder tuingie kwa client. Now we can start our app, npm run dev, and to make sure that everything is working properly, you click on that link, and yeah, we have our React project running. So we can get rid of this trash. We clean up everything hatuhitaji, the use state hatuhitaji, and the logo, the SVG right there. So guys, we will be using Tailwind for styling. So we need to have that set up. So kwa Tailwind config.js kuna one thing we didn't do to make sure that our styling is working. We need to copy this code from their documentation, alafu paste it kwa tailwind.config.js, alafu back to the documentation, you grab the Tailwind classes, you copy that, then paste it kwa app.js within the source folder. Now once you have done that, I guess Tailwind will take effect. We can give it a try. Kwa app.js we can write just to test it out and see if it is working. H2 tags, alafu within the H2 tags tunaweza andika anything, then give it some CSS styling tuone ama Tailwind is working. Class name, let's give it a color, and in color of green, then 600 save that and see if it is going to take effect. Yeah, it is working properly. Now we are good to go. And by the way, we didn't install Axios. Tutakuwa tunahitaji to make HTTP request to the backend, so we install it right away. In the meantime, we can start writing code kwa app.js. So we are going to have the title right there. Now we style it a little bit so that it looks good. Yeah, Axios is installed, so we run our app once again, and hopefully, yeah, we are making good progress. So yeah, we have everything working. So we will have two inputs, one for phone number na ingine for amount. Itakuwa within the form tags, so that on submission of that form we'll have an SDK push. So we'll have two inputs, and we're going to provide a placeholder right there. The first one is going to be with the phone number, and then we will have another input for amount. Then we will be styling these inputs so that they look good. We style the form kidogo, itakuwa flex call and spaces between the two inputs, and then for inputs we'll provide those styling classes. Then tutakuwa na button which we read pay now, alafu tufanye styling just like the other elements, and yeah, so our form looks nice, but the heading kuna venye iko misplaced kidogo. Let us fix that. Yeah, the H1 the closing tag, it was misplaced. Let us put it in the right place, and on a refreshing we should have that error fixed. Yeah, it looks much better now. So the next step would now writing the functionality, making the HTTP request to the backend, and making sure that everything is put in place. So we'll have const phone and set phone. We will be using React hook to make sure that we have that done, and we'll have two use state hooks hapa hivi. We'll be having one for phone, and the other one for amount. To make sure that use state is imported, otherwise you're going to get errors. These will be capturing users inputs so that you can have that the backend. So we will on change, which will be setting the amount and the phone number. Then our button will be on click. We'll have a function right there. Let's call it pay handler. Then within this function we'll be making a post request. sending the phone and the amount to the Safaricom, to the endpoint. Now to make sure that on clicking our button we don't have a page reload, let's use a little bit of JavaScript there. I evaluated to prevent default. Then to import actions so that you can make a post request, and the URL actually itakuwa the one this URL right here. This is what I'm talking about. You grab that one right there, and course yenye tuli import before we started writing code in the React.js frontend itatusaidia sana ku make sure that we make a HTTP post request. Then we will take into parameters the amount of the phone that we are capturing with the use state. Now once we have that the phone and the amount, we are good to go. Actually we should be testing out and see if the functionality is working. Alafu tutakuwa na .then we console log the success message, and then we catch potential errors. So let us test things out tuone ama tuko sawa. I hope everything works. So kwa fronted tuweke phone number, and I will be showing my screen tuone mara tutapata STK push. You put the amount, then click now, then unaona kwa simu yangu we have an STK pop-up, alafu console log we have the success message right there. That's it. Now you have learned M-Pesa programming, so go make money. And before you leave, make sure you follow me on Twitter when I make jokes about PHP. You really want to follow me, link iko hapo kwa description. Kama kuna any question tupatane kwa comment section.